Okay, here are the math answers for the 213 review. So for problem number 2-29, it says simplify the following expressions by combining like terms. You can use drawing or sketches. I like to show it by like circling and making sure that I know which terms go with which each other. So like in the first one, I have 2x plus 3x plus 3 plus 4x squared plus 10 plus x. So I see right away that I have a 4x squared. So I want to see if I have any others. I don't. So I know I'm going to write that down. I have 4x squared plus, then I say, okay, I have a 2x, a 3x, and an x. So I know those all to go together. So I get 5x plus another x. It's going to give me 6x. And then I have 3 and 10, and 3 plus 10 is 13. So my answer is 4x squared plus 6x plus 13. For B, I have 4x, 4y squared, y squared, so I already see that those two go together. 9, 10, x, and 3x. I don't have any other y squareds, so I'm going to get 5y squared, and then 4x, x, and 3x give me 8x, and 9 plus 10 is 19. For C, I have several x squareds. So I'm going to do 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4, so I have 9x squared plus an x, and then plus 30 plus 14 is going to give me 44. And then D, I noticed that I have a y squared, 4y squared, and a y squared. So I have 5y squared. I have a 5xy and an xy, so I have 6xy. And then 20 and 10 make 30. The next problem says find a simplified algebraic expression for the expression map below. So the way that I do this is I like to write it out exactly the way that it reads in the problem first, and then I simplify it. So in the top I have 2x's. So I get 2x plus, I have a positive 2, a negative 1, and then in the bottom I have a minus 2. So then it says to simplify, so I just keep my 2x, but then 2 minus 1 is 1, and 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So I end up with 2x minus 1 is my answer. For part B, I start off with an x minus x plus 3, and then minus 1. So, sorry, minus a negative 1. So I have x minus x, which is 0, and then 3 minus negative 1 is actually 3 plus 1, which is 4. My last one, I have x squared minus 2 minus y minus 2. So if it's in the bottom, it's a minus. So then I get x squared. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. So minus y minus 4. I think a lot of people thought those two would cancel. And if they were the same color, we could cancel them out. Since they're different colors, we cannot. Okay. Problem 31 is another writing an equation to find the answer problem. So I'm going to make my table. So I have my define section, my do, and my decide. So it tells me that I have 3 different colors. So it talks about having a beige, which I'm going to call B, a red, and a navy blue. So I'm going to label R and N. I'm going to add them all together because I'm going to buy a total. And then my decision is I want to get a total of 435 tiles. So then I go back and read my problem again. So Susan is buying 3 different colors of tiles for her kitchen floor. She's buying 25 more red than beige. So if I make beige X, I can make red 25 plus X. Then it says she's buying 3 times as many navy blue as beige. So I can make N 3X. So then I know I'm going to add them all together. So X plus 3X is going to be 5X plus 25 equals 435. So then I subtract 25 from both sides. I get 5x equals 410 divided by 5, x equals 82. So that means I know that I have 82 beige. So then 82 plus 25 is going to give me 107 red. And then 82 times 3 ends up being 246. So then I have to write it in a complete sentence. So I can say that she buys 82 beige, 107 red, and 246 navy blue tiles. And that would be my final answer. Next problem, I am computing without a calculator. So for the first one, negative 14 plus negative 31. Same signs, add and keep. So 14 plus 31 is 45. And it's negative. The next one, it's the opposite of negative 8, which is 8, minus the opposite of 2, which is keep, change, change. So I would make it plus 2. So my final answer will be 10. C, negative 16 divided by negative 8. It's 2, which is positive, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. D, I'm multiplying. 24 times 11 is 264, and it's negative. The negative times a positive is a negative. For E, I had to find a common denominator. I know that 1/2 is the same as 2 over 4. So it's 2 over 4 minus 3 over 4. 2 minus 3 is a negative 1/4. So I get negative 1/4. 46 divided by negative 23. It goes in 2 times. It's negative because a positive divided by a negative is a negative. Problem 33. It says to bake 100 of his favorite cookies, Mr. Wallace needs 350 grams of sugar. How many grams of sugar would he need to bake 10 cookies? What about 20 cookies? So I wrote a proportion. You don't have to, but I did 100 over 350 equals 10 over x. Then I saw that I was really just dividing by 10. So I could do 350 divided by 10. So x would equal 35 grams of sugar. And then for 20 cookies, well, 20 is 10, double 10, so I can just double 35 and say it's going to be 70 grams for 20. So then B, what's the unit rate? So I would divide 350 by 100 to figure out my unit rate, which is 3.5 grams. So then it wants me to fill in my table. So it says to help him know how much sugar we can use when baking cookies, we want to make a table. So we already figured out that 10 is 35. We know 20 is 70. I'm going to skip over the 2 because I know 1 is 3.5. So that means 2 must be 7. And then 5 is going to be 17.5 because I just multiply 3.5 by 5. 700 I know is going to be 200. And then 1400 is double 700, so it would be 400. Okay, make sure that you fix your homework.